Hello and welcome to this edition of Big Sky 35. Let's talk. It's Sunday. I've been saying I want to do this. And I had something in mind this week of kind of just showing off something different in my collection. I think I'll do that on another Sunday. I don't know if I'll get one for next Sunday. I have a lot of work. I got to work next 7 days in a row starting tomorrow, 12-hour shifts. So I'll be making some extra card money. But uh, I guess there's been a lot going on this week. I can't remember everything, but uh, first thing I'd like to talk about is, I'm a baseball guy. A little upsetting this weekend. Love opening day. I couldn't take it off this week. I usually take it off so I could watch the games and had to work, but the Mets uh, series with the Nationals got canceled or postponed, I should say, for negative or positive tests with the Nationals. So they'll be starting up with the Phillies Monday, I believe, at Philadelphia. Uh, so I'm excited for that. Even though I got to work, I won't see any of them. Hopefully, I can get home in time to watch some of the. I'll probably miss the first half of the game, and see the back halves. Uh, that's the first thing. Just a little disappointed. I have the baseball package, which is free, I believe, for this first week of the season. It usually is. I think I saw an ad for it. Uh, so I've been watching the Angel series. I love Anthony Rendon. He's probably one of my favorite players in the league, and Trout is probably the best in. Was a generational player, and I just haven't seen a lot of Trout's games, and I was like, you know what? Why not? From what I'm seeing, they're hurting in the pitching. so uh, this is recorded on Saturday night. They did win tonight. Uh, but I've been watching that Mercedes guy just tearing the cover off the ball over 2 games, which has been a pretty amazing to watch. But back to baseball, I guess the one thing, and I'm not going to really talk about it. I do have opinions, but this isn't the format for it. The All Star game. Um, the only takeaway I have, right or wrong, indifferent or whatever, with them moving it, is they're it's a business. They can do whatever the hell they want if you like it or not. Uh, but you know, I think the National needs to look at it and go, if they can move a whole All Star game within 3 months, 2 months of it, why can't the National pick another venue other than Chicago or Atlantic City? They said just it's too hard, and I was just like, I see things like this, and I'm like, what? That just proves it wrong. You're talking about a card show, and they're talking about a baseball game where you got to bring all these people in and reporters, and I mean, by then they might have full stadiums. It's just crazy to me. Um, when it was the first thing I thought of, because my mind goes to baseball cards on more times than not. You could say anything, and like a dog and a squirrel, I go baseball cards. Um, so that was my big takeaway from it was so they can move it within 3 months. And I mean, you got to think all the stuff has already been printed for this thing. They probably already got the All Star patches made, or and it's kind of like, oh, you're changing it. So there's a lot to that. You got to think all the stuff that goes with that, and they're changing it. And I like, and the National told Mike baseball card or collector that you they can't because it's just pretty much it's too hard. Because I'm sorry, Atlantic City is just not a good place to have it at for logistics reasons. Might be good for people in the Northeast, but for the rest of us, it's not a good place. That's my opinion on that. That's the only opinion you'll get from me. Uh, so, but talking about that, now that the other big thing that happened this week was the sports card spectacular fun time hour show or whatever they call it, the one in Chicago in June. It used to be the Fanatic. I think they just call it the sports card or sports spectacular or something like that. It's a pretty big show. I mean, a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's half the size of the National." I don't think it is. It's pretty much almost the same amount of vendor tables. I don't think they don't have the breaker and they don't have all the companies there um, that the National has. That's the difference. But the vendors, they have the autos. I believe it's the same people that do the autographs. It's a pretty big show, and that was the one that everybody was going to measure what was going to happen at the National. Well, it's already been canceled, and that was the first weekend in June, and they canceled it already. And they're talking about that they have one in November as well that should be okay because Illinois is in stage 4, which doesn't allow large gatherings um, and closed in places like that. So um, it need to be in stage 5. I don't know. And the way they were talking with Mike was like they're going to have something. So I don't know what their plan is. You know, I hope they work out. I've had my stuff when I heard that there were issues with already with hotels and stuff. I've had my stuff purchased since first of the year. I don't have flights or anything because I wanted to see if I could fly or drive or what was going to be better for me. I'm about a little over 5 hours away driving. Uh, I can fly there in 40 minutes. So um, I was waiting to see what was going to be beneficial for me for that. Now I'm just waiting to see if we have it or not. Still optimistic. I think it's 50-50. People just I think the more shots that are given, the better off we're going to be. So, but with that, the next thing I want to talk about, and I said it last week, was I don't want to talk about grading anymore. I don't want to talk. It's a necessary evil we have in the hobby, but it's going straight to, you know, it's for the flippers. It's not for people that are the hobbyists, the collectors. They're proving that this week, and I'll get into my feelings are. My opinion is like I understand what PSA did, and everybody's like, "Oh, they should have did it 6 months ago." Well, they were still privately, a public traded company. They knew exactly what assets they had from month to month. They knew exactly what was going on. It wasn't in their. They didn't care. People were waiting a year. People might have been complaining, but they were still getting cards in. You might complain on social media, "Oh, it's taking me a year to get it," but your next YouTube video or you're posting pictures on Instagram or Facebook. "Oh, here's my next cards. I'm sending in a PSA." So I've never understood that. So I understand what PSA is doing, and we'll be lucky if it's just 3 months. And at the same time, before that, SGC was getting cocky again, posting stuff on Instagram and Face wherever they could on social media about backlogs suck and all this stuff, trying to rub it in PSA's face and pretty much telling people to send them their cards. Well, PSA shut down, and guess what happened? SGC can't handle it. At least they had the forethought this time when in that first book they sent out, which telling you what they're increasing to, that was going to be a 500. They had 500% increase in 36 hours or whatever. So the $75 is basically, hey, don't send it to us, and then you know then the bulk guys, the guys that send it in, they were finding out it was going to be $45, $50 with shipping to send in the cards, and most people were saying, hey, I can do it, but this is the price. It's not good. And some people were even backing out totally. I just was laughing at the whole thing. So I just, and then today being Saturday, start seeing posts and a couple of videos about how the bulk now is at $35. And I don't know if they did it by accident or what, but it was a great marketing strategy. Bump it up to 75 for normal. Bulk was 50 or 45. And then the next day you drop it $10. Everybody was bitching on Friday, but on Saturday at 35, oh, it's okay. I just won't send in as many. What the? I was just like, well, yeah, you could have had the same attitude at $50. I was just like, not this guy. I might send in one or two if it's something that I want to sell, and I just know now you almost have to have graded to make any money off of some cards, or or you're just losing out is what way it feels. Because if you sell it raw, you could have got it in a 10. You're taking a chance of getting it in a 10 and double, even triple. It depends on who it is. The price of it, where you almost want to. It's almost worth the gamble, I guess. If you gamble enough, you're going to win some to even out the money lost. But I can tell you right now, if anybody watched my last PSA return, I had 10 cards and 10 nines. And even a pack came back as a 9, which was fine. But man, some of those, I had 9s in some of those, and I just gambled trying to get a 10 because I had another, or I picked up another card. And man, them things are crisp. I scrutinized those cards, and I'm not a grader, so I'm sure, it's not like I got back a 6 and was like, oh my gosh, what did I miss? I think now a 10 and a 9, it could be a very fine line, and they're going to just give it a 9. They just, SGC, what's the one thing I think SGC has done to PSA is made PSA a tougher grader, with everything that's happened in the last couple of years. Has made PSA have to get better on their game. You're just not going to pull an ultra modern card and go, oh, this is going to be a 9 or a 10. It's going to have to be a perfect card with PSA because they don't have a black or gold label or whatever. So a 10 of them is a 10. It ain't, oh, it's a 10, but there's another 10. They have just one 10. It's not a special label or anything. So it's going to be tough, and I respect that. I'm not upset with it. I just know, letting everybody know, you sit in a card, you're not going to automatically get a 10. Good luck, from what I'm seeing, and I think that's the way it should be. And but that's it for grading. I understand it. I'm just kind of doing a wait and see moment. I know that it's going to be a domino effect. I'm just waiting to hear from CSG when their price is going up. So I heard through the grapevine it is, even on bulk, because that was the value. And that was, for me, I respect them because at least they have a background in this hobby where, I'm sorry, HGA has no background in this hobby, none. And everybody's paying a premium because you can't get in, so it makes it cool to be the cool kid. Hey, I got this HGA, and they look pretty. And I even squabbled that they look pretty. I'm not 100% sold on all the flips. And if you got to spell names right, you got to get them right. You're only doing 2,000. You're taking 2,000 cards a week so you can get them done and done right. And I'm seeing issues every week. Basic stuff, and somebody's saying that if you typed in a new card and you typed it in wrong, that's where they're spelling it. Well, if that's the case, somebody get real creative. I just want to see it. So that's my thoughts on that. It's a longer video. And what I've been doing this week is I've been sorting 2021 cards, uh, Topps Series 1. I actually found a lot in the wild. I'm not going to buy over retail or SRP. So I've been lucky. Well, you can find them. You just got to keep looking. Uh, and of course, I picked up one. And oh, yeah, you can see it. And I'm wondering, we're going to start getting these back here, especially from SGC. People have already gotten them. I saw a bomb sold a 10 for 130 some dollars, which I kind of confused about too. Not that it was SGC, it's just a rookie card for 130. It was confusing. Well, you see the stamp right here. I just picked this card up I had sitting over here. So you got that stamp. Well, if you look on the back, you probably can't see it. However they stamped it is making impressions on the back. This one is not as pronounced as other ones, but I've seen quite a bit where you can actually see the divot in the back of a card. And I know how SGC, the back is just as important as the front. I'm wondering if that's going to hamper grading. I'm interested to see. I haven't really seen a lot of 2021s coming back yet because, people are going to send them into PSA and, hopefully we'll start seeing some SGC here and other than basketball coming back. And I'm interested. I know I saw a bomb at a 10 and I just interested if people are going, I don't know why I'm getting a 10. Well, look at that. You can see it's a perfect square on the back of the card. It's just making an indentation in the back. And but other than that, this week, other than those things, it's been a kind of a hectic week. I got a PSA return. One little addition to that was the gentleman I do my group with here locally reached out to me today on the video and told me that he mailed them in July, like the first week in July, it sounded like. It got posted in October, I think. And then got mailed. We received them back on March 28th. So take that for whatever you want. I love all the different numbers. So so that's how long it took to get those back. And it is what it is. Like I said, I'm more of a collector. All of those went in my collection. None of those are going out for sale at the moment. But just I like to laugh. I like to have fun with the hobby. I like to have fun with everything I'm doing. I got some stuff going on outside in the real world that I'm not too happy about right now. So, because one of them might even affect my hobby where you might not be seeing this kid for a while. I might be doing a goodbye video. So, so right now, I was going to tune up a song, Oh Baby, I Like It Raw, because that's where we're going. Raw cards for the collectors. We're going it back to the 80s. And I love it. Let's get the Beckett's out and get to going. Let's go. Let's go. So until next time, see ya.